Hello and welcome to Pugsley Crew Reviews, a podcast about films. We'll watch and talk about good films, bad films, and all films in between. Even if they're mediocre, like the last film we talked about. Again, joining me is Kerr9000. How you doing, Kerr?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Been playing Oblivion, the remaster.
Oh, yeah, it looks spectacular.
It looks lovely. It plays the same and it's got loads of bugs still, but it looks good.
Well, I'm sure Bethesda would say they're features, not bugs, but...
Yeah. Good point. So, the film we are going to be discussing this week is Samurai Cop, which I have only heard it in passing. I've never watched it. I don't know much about it.
Same, I went into this with no foreknowledge whatsoever.
Exactly. So, first off, you can see the budget is minimal, if anything. If they must have had
painfully low.
They must have had like a tenner and was like, right, this film, this film on a really bad. Well, actually, it looked like a really, like visually, it looked like an 80s or 70s film, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the way the camera is.
There's a few things that make it look older than it is. And one of them is that, almost every shot in the movie is done in a single take because they want to conserve film reel. But also, you know, like when you turn a camera off, usually it like has this effect where it dims.
Right.
Well, they were so obsessed with not wasting reel that if you'll notice, they don't clip off bits like most places do. You'll see that dim, and then it'll start, and that's because they didn't clip off the dimming bit because they didn't want to waste the reel.
Right.
Add on to that there's bits where stuff's been shot with no sound and it's been dubbed on top, and there's just other things like that if you've watched a lot of film and you've got a keen eye, you'll just notice and go, this is really low rent. You know, they're really struggling for money and, you know, using every last inch of film stock here.
Yeah, speaking of times that dubbed audio, you could, like, loads of times people would speak and it would be different to the mouth where they've had to go over it with the whatever, with like dubbing it. A few times that happened.
And people sometimes talk with the wrong voice because apparently people had finished filming, been sent away, they weren't needed again, but then it was found out that something needed to be said by them.
Yeah.
So they'd just dub a voice on top.
Yeah. I noticed as well, like, a lot of the time they reuse some stuff. Like, in the beginning when there's the chase scene, it's like, shoot him! And they do that about 4 or 5 times. And there's another bit where, like, they try and attack the cop leaving a building, I think. And they say something to her. I can't remember what it was, even though I watched it, like, not long ago. They say something to him like, hey, stop! And then another guy comes along, a completely different guy, and then this, hey, stop! And then it's going to say, as he gets knocked out. It's just bits like that. It's funny as fuck.
There's a really fun game to play with this film. It's too late for us now, but if anyone wants to rewatch it, you know how he's got long hair, the main dude? Well, I didn't know this at the time, but it makes pretty interesting viewing. He went away, he got was trying to get another job, and he cut his hair short. And then he was asked to come back, and he thought it was for reshoot bits for long distance and that, and they couldn't get a wig to match. The only one they could get was like a crappy quality long female hair wig. So he agreed, thinking it was going to be these long shots and stuff. And no, it was like entire chunks of the film. So you're watching, it'll be like a scene where he's got his real hair, and then a scene where he's got really fake crap here. In fact, there's one time apparently where the wig nearly slips off.
I didn't see
Mental.
that. I didn't see that. When did that happen?
I can't think of the exact scene, but if you watch it piece per piece, it's clearly different hair and different shots. Because I mean, there's shots where he goes in a pool and things, and so he must have had his real hair there, otherwise it'd float away. But there's just certain scenes where you go, that looks wrong. And it is. It's fake crap women's wig.
Yeah, well, when the film started, I thought he was wearing a wig. So I thought, that's no way that's real hair. Because it's like, I don't know, I just didn't think it was. But because of the pool scene and things like that, I thought, clearly it's not. But obviously, if at some points it was no wig and at other points it weren't, then that would explain it. But then again, I might be wrong about the wig, so who knows? But
no.
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised he was wearing a wig, but I am because I, didn't realize. Yeah, the film is it's not the best film in the world. It's pretty shit, but
yeah,
it has some wonderful fucking lines in it. One where he's like, when the film is starting, they start discussing, they like on the fucking radio to Peggy, the female cop, and she's like, oh, they're talking, and she's like, oh, just keep it up, and the guy Joe's like, oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm. And she's like, oh, it's warm.
Oh dear.
Dirty bastards. But yeah, the like straight from there, then after that, they chase some people down, shoot some people, like guy gets set on fire. It goes straight to a scene with them two shagging.
Yeah, there's definitely some shagging in this.
One of the most awkward sex scenes I've ever seen.
Oh, painfully awkward.
Yeah. Thinking about
Nobody looks comfortable.
No. I think the second sex scene with the villains is also a really awkward sex scene that doesn't really go anywhere because he gets a phone call. He's like, right, I have to go. It's like, unlucky, mate. It's always annoying when you get interrupted with a phone call. But another one-liner, which is fucking great, is when the chief is arguing with the lawyer for the Katana clan, and he's like, when he's leaving, he's like, you motherfucker, I'll see you in hell. Get a job. And it's like, where the fuck does get a job come from? It's just so fucking random. It's just so random. Get a job. It's like, what?
There's a lot of shit in it that just doesn't make sense. Like there's a bit where the samurai cop says, I have a neighbour next door. Yeah, that's how it works. That's why he's your neighbour.
Exactly. You don't just have a neighbour who lives somewhere else, nowhere near you. Brilliant.
They make a big thing about the samurai cop being called the samurai because he speaks fluent Japanese. And I don't remember him saying a word of Japanese in the film.
No, he doesn't say any Japanese in the film.
You could just say because he's good with a sword or,
Yeah. Thinking about the sword fights, if I'm sure, same with the chase scenes, I'm sure they're just driving at normal speeds and then everything's just sped up on film.
Yeah.
Like even when they fight in a lot of the time, it's like, you can see it's been sped up.
The only sword thing that was memorable was there's a bit where he flings it and it off somebody's arm.
Yeah. Well, there's a scene earlier in the film, which I don't remember before. Basically, they're talking to the chief, and the chief is giving them what for, because that's what they do in these films. The chief gives them what for. And one of the things he says is there was a guy on fire, a load of dead people, and a guy with his hand chopped off. I don't remember the guy with his hand being chopped off. I remember a guy getting his arm chopped off later, but not a guy with his hand chopped off before then. Because before that was the car chase.
Yeah. Unless it was filmed out of sequence or, messed up somehow.
Yeah. But I did love it though. He's like, get out of my office. And then he leans back in his chair. The black guy, Washington, I think his name is, kisses him on the head.
Yeah.
And they're like, you motherfuckers, get back here. And it just lingers on him, pointing for a little bit. Then he sits down and just fucking grins and laughs. It's like, that's not what you usually get from a tough chief guy.
No.
Just laughs. I wonder if that was intended or if he just kept it in because they thought it was funny.
The funny thing is about this film to me, back when I was like 15, 16 and we'd just got video cameras,
Yeah.
we'd all seen Pulp Fiction, and I wrote a script for a film for me and my friends to make, and we filmed it and everything. And unfortunately, it's lost media because it was on those little cassettes that you had to like put a adapter on. And it was about at the level of this film.
Yeah.
Because the dialogue was as intentionally stupid, because we'd got someone being the chief of police and the others were going in, and they went something on about, where's the money, where's the shit, I've lost it. And he turns around after we can't find the shit, we can't find the money, he goes, yeah, but what about the drugs? And you're like thinking, well, that's what the shit was referring to, mate. But then when I watch this, I'm like, it reminds me of like childhood films we try and make. That's how bad some of the dialogue in this is.
Yeah.
And our excuse is we were fucking kids. What's the excuse here? The way people talk to each other is like somebody's watched Quentin Tarantino, wants to be Quentin Tarantino, completely doesn't understand what makes Tarantino, and is just trying too hard.
Yeah.
And the white guy, black guy interactions, they're just so wrote by a white guy who's never known a black guy in his life. All the stuff about your ass is black, it's already black. Yeah! It's just like, oh no.
Yeah, there's some weird bits in there with the black guy.
And then talk about people being circumcised and... Oh,
Yeah,
it's just strange,
that's weird.
strange.
I wasn't expecting that. Like, there's the scene with the nurse, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to touch me? Do you want to fuck me? But your dick ain't big enough." That kind of thing. It's like, I like a bigger dick, and shit like that. And it's like, what the fuck?
There was times where I felt like the director wanted to make low rent porn.
Yeah.
And, I'll just shove some in this samurai film, see how it goes down, because I might end up making porn in the long run.
Exactly. There's 3 sex scenes. They're all awful.
Yeah.
There's another scene where a woman has a throat slit, and for some reason her boobs get pulled out of her top. No idea why.
Well, why not?
No idea why. There's a scene where Peggy, the female officer, she goes to another cop, "Well, there's not much for us to do. Do you want to fuck?" And he's like, "Shut up." But it's literally that. "Do you want to fuck?" I'm surprised you didn't say yeah.
Well, yeah.
Another sex scene comes on.
My favourite thing, though, is that in the script of this, a character has got the name Penis Grabbing Henchman. I love that.
That's great. That is genuinely great. And
can you imagine writing that on your resume as an actor? Yes, and I was in this film as a vicar, and then I was in this film as the Penis Grabbing Henchman. That guy has got the most awesome CV ever.
Yeah. Poor thing. You don't see the penis, by the way, everyone.
Although it is referred to as being the black gift.
Yes, it was referred to as
wow.
that. That's the funny thing, though, is like, not that I wanted to see a naked guy flapping about, but you see him standing up a few times after that scene while they're in the middle of fighting, and he's wearing pants. He's wearing a pair of boxers. Obviously, he didn't want to be naked to do it, which is understandable, but he was still wearing clothes because he was meant to have got up the shower, like. So he was meant to be undressed.
Apparently, Penis Grabbing Henchman, the actor whose name is Rick Garcia, has been in 56 different things, including The Shield, The X-Files, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Yeah.
and Collateral Damage, the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. So he's not done bad for himself.
No. Obviously, the CV, Penis Grabbing Henchman, was a highlight. They're like, oh.
It just sells it itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a film that is bad. It's a bad film. But because of how daft the writing is, it's funny.
Yeah.
There's like clearly reasons why if you were to watch this, don't take it seriously because it's daft. It's not the worst film I've seen, but
oh no,
you know,
I'd recommend that the way to watch this film really is get some friends around, get some cheap pizzas, get a couple of bottles of spirits or beer, and just get lightly drunk and rip the piss out of it with each other and enjoy it for the mad slice of weirdness that it is.
Yeah. It's that line though, you motherfucker, I'll see you in hell, get a job, is still probably my favorite line of the film because it's just like it's the whole get a job. The guy is a fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick at the end of this one, I think. There's a lot of stuff in here that is to laugh at. But you were saying on the last episode that say some people are a bit too into this or something, for good or bad. What was that about?
Well, apparently it has got like a cult following. There are people who, you know, are crazy with this film. But obviously, as a sort of so bad it's good film.
Yeah.
It's one of the legendary so bad it's good. Not quite on the lines of Troll 2, but that kind of cult obsession. Yeah. But it's like we said with the last film. The worst thing you can be is average boring.
Yeah.
If you're crap funny, that kind of beats average boring. If you were forced to either watch this or Ballistic Eeks Server again, I'd probably go for this.
Yeah, I'm me.
Because
it's funny and it's got boobs.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised this have got a cult following though, because it's one of those films where it's shit but funny. Like there is a Samurai Cop 2 as well.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like.
Well, probably worse, but
there's only one way to find out, man. You have to watch that one as well. At some point, not right now. So what are your final thoughts on this film then before we end?
Rate it for the technical being a movie side of things. It would probably get 2 or 3 out of 10. If I'm going to rate it for laughing at it, enjoyment, you know, the piss-takey side of it, accepting it what it is, and how 7 out of 10. It's actually quite a funny watch.
It is.
If you know you're in B-movie territory, and you know it's going to kind of suck, but you're going to absolutely fall over yourself laughing. If you know that and you go into it, you'll like it.
Yeah. It is, it's like, as we both said, it's not a very good film in your general, how good is a film, but in how it's funny, in spite of itself, then you're looking into a pretty good watch. Because like we've watched some films that have been average or some films that have been bad and they just haven't been that much fun. Like, we've brought it up a few times, but Cocaine Shark, that film was shit, just pure shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, the first 10 minutes or so, I thought, oh, it's quite funny. And then after that, I was like, shite. But this, to the end, I was laughing at most of it because it was funny. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Whether it was intended to be funny is a different thing.
That's the thing. I think that is what makes some films funny. The fact they were actually trying to make a good action film but didn't have the budget, that makes it funny. I think when you are intentionally shit, it doesn't work because you can tell it's a fake, tacky, intentional shit.
Yeah.
Whereas real, accidental, try your best, but it's just crap, comes across much funnier. There's a sort of truth to it where it's funny because it is somebody's best effort given the funds they had.
Yeah, exactly. Tagline for this film: you have the right to remain silent. Dead silent.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good tagline, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I recognise like a couple of the people from this film and other stuff. Like the main henchman. I'm sure I've seen him in other stuff. And also the bald Asian guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure I recognise him.
He was
from
definitely
stuff as well.
familiar.
Yeah.
But then that's the weird thing, because the guy who's the main guy in it, when I've looked him up, he's only down as having acted in about 6 things. Whereas old penis-grabbing henchman's been in loads. What films? What films have you got where the star goes on to do nothing, and the weird side nothing villain goes on to have a long, illustrious career? It doesn't really happen.
No, it doesn't. Especially when they name his penis-grabbing henchman. Not that I'm aware of many penis-grabbing henchmen, to be honest. I think we're going to wrap up here. It has been a pleasure talking with you, and I will hopefully catch you again soon for some more films. Maybe Samurai Cop 2, who knows? Or RoboCop 3. I've only seen some of RoboCop 3. I've seen like a bit of it, and then I'll just turn it off. I really liked RoboCop,
all, but
you know,
not for a long time.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be one we'll watch one day.
Have we ever watched Tales from the Crypt Demon Night on here?
No.
Because that's one I'd like to do.
Huh?
Partly because I've talked to one of the producers of it before, A.L. Katz. He does a podcast which is called something like The How Not to Make a Movie.
All right.
Where he talks about films he's been involved in and all the crap that went wrong with them. And about how you were promised such a budget and got nothing, or you had to swap from filming in America to filming in some weird location. And I love stuff like that. So
that's cool.
And it's actually a darn good film, Demon Knight, in my opinion.
I'll have to have a look at it. But that's going to be us. Again, thank you for taking part. Bye-bye,
very
everyone.
welcome. Bye.
Yes, Counselor. And he has every right to be. But frankly, I don't give a damn.
But Captain Roma, let me warn you.
Fuck you and your client. And you get your ass out of my office, or you'll have to go to surgery to get my foot out of it. Get out of here, you asshole. Leave me alone. I got more important things than a shyster like you. Get out of here.
I'll see you in court.
You motherfucker, I'll see you in hell. Leave me alone. Get a job.